Let me say something that might hit a little close. If your team can't run without you, it's not because they're not capable. It's because of how the system is set up. And most leaders actually never fix this. They just work harder inside of it. And this isn't a 3 tips talk, and I'm not going to try to sell you on 10 different things. I want to show you the pattern I see constantly, especially with highly skilled teams and leaders where everything still flows right back to the leader. And if this is you, you'll recognize it immediately. Your team is smart, they're experienced, but you trust them in theory, but you're still the one that they come to for all final decisions, and you're still reviewing or fixing more than you actually should. And this really hit this last month because for many of you that I have talked to, you talked about like even tax returns that you would just go ahead and fix them because it was easier to fix them than actually send them back because there was such a condensed time pressure. And I've talked to people that are doing payroll reports the same way, and it just comes down to just trying to fix it and get it moved back. And that's when it all lands back on you. And so you end up in this position where you have a team, but you're still the safety net for everything. And you really see this around deadlines. Everyone else logs off, and somewhere you're still the one there, reviewing, fixing, double checking, making sure that nothing goes out wrong. It's you. It lands on you because the closer we get to deadlines or the closer we get to like, I've got to get this fixed, we run into this pattern. I see this pattern all day long. And it doesn't matter if it's a small firm or a larger one, I see the same pattern. The team does the work, but when it actually matters, it routes right back to you. So deadlines don't just test your team, they expose the fact you're still the final control point for everything. And I want to say that again. Deadlines expose the fact that you're still the control point for everything. And if that's happening, here's the part that most people miss. This is not a capacity problem. It is a dependency loop. And we stay in that loop over and over again. And every deadline and not even deadlines, but let's just use month end. Every month end turns into a dependency loop. It gets created, used unintentionally, but how decisions, ownership, and risk are actually handled. And once that loop exists, even the strongest teams will default back to you. Not because they have to, but because the system trained them to. And so I want to give you a quick way to spot it because a lot of people, especially when you're in the weeds and the thick of all of this, you don't spot it. Look at how decisions show up to you. If people are bringing you problems with recommendations but still waiting on your approval, or decisions framed as, I just want to make sure this is right, that's not ownership. That's delegation with a safety check built in. And that's exactly what keeps you stuck. And the way I usually get people to see this is I'll ask them, when you leave for the day, are you exhausted? And this is not even during tax season, it's all year long. And they're like, yes, I'm so exhausted. And I was like, so when your family asks you what's for dinner, you just want to blow up because you do not want to make another decision. And they're like, oh yeah, that's why I've been making decisions all day long. But what actually fixes this isn't better delegation. It's changing how ownership and decision making are structured. And so I know we're in a high compliance and we're submitting stuff to the IRS. So things do have to be right. But that's why we delegate with those standards in place. So your team can move without needing to find you as the final checkpoint, because this is where everything gets stuck. And the firms that have embraced this, they actually went to freedom. And that's what I'm actually breaking down in this webinar I'm running tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern is focused specifically on why teams stay dependent on the leader even when they're highly capable, and what has to change to fix it without lowering standards. Because I hear over and over again, well, I have to review everything because I have to make sure it's right. That's why I keep saying it's with standards. It's with your standards, because there is no two accounting firms that are saying are doing work the exact same way with the exact same systems. So you have to give people the tools that they need. And that's what we're going to be breaking down. And if you're wondering, is this just going to be a pitch? That's a fair question. But I'm here to tell you this session stands on its own. You'll either walk away with clarity on exactly where the dependency is happening, or you'll confirm this isn't your issue. Either way, it's useful. And you'll have some frameworks that you could put inside of your firm. And there's simple things that you can actually put in there. So if you're dealing with this, it's worth attending. And if you're not, you'll know pretty quickly. And I'll put the details in the comments. So if you want to register for it, it's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you there. And if your team is strong, but you're still the one everything depends on, that's not a people problem. That's a structure problem. And it doesn't fix itself. And I want to show you how you can help fix it for good. That's what the webinar is about, is fixing it for good. Because that's where freedom is built. And that's what I want to show you, is how you can actually start getting free again from your business. Because after all, that's what you started it for. So I hope to see you there, and have a fantastic rest of your night.